Ooh. Oh no. Oh man. Oh God. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the board out because this looks water damaged, and I'm a little concerned with this looking water damage that there's going to be something going on in the board. The listing did claim that it worked. I do want to get it open and see what's going on the side of there. There are game bit screws here, which is, I thought there would be Phillips, to be honest with you. So I got my cheap toolkit here. It's like 15 bucks on Amazon. When I got it, it was 10, but that was before COVID. It'll get you by. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but it will get you by. So let me see here about this game bit. Yeah, okay. These screws should be all the same, but I'm going to make note of that. If you're taking anything apart that you've never taken apart before, make note of like screw links, and then if they are different, you can document, you know, you can make notes or photos, whatever you need to remember the orientation of the screws, but these all look the same. So I'm just gonna grab my little jar here, drop these in here because those are tiny and I will lose those. You want to be careful of like clips. See, there was like little clips right there. Okay, what are we working with? Okay, we got some pretty corroded leads here, or pins. It's not bad. I bet you this game would play. They are, right here is a little eaten up. It's a little eaten with the corrosion, but I'm going to do my usual rubbing alcohol followed up with a pencil eraser. The pencil eraser is like a micro abrasive. I'll show that method, and then I'll follow it up again with rubbing alcohol, and then finally with electrical contact cleaner. The traces on the board look good. I don't see anything alarming with the traces. All the soldering joints look good. Is that a scratch or is that a crack? I can't tell. Can you even see that? There's like a, I think it's a scratch, but it did look like, yeah, it's a scratch. It looks like it's cracked though. I got a little freaked out there for a second. So I'm just gonna put this back together and kind of lay this off to the side so I don't end up breaking it. The other day I was in the grocery store and I saw this pink pearl, and I don't know if I'm weird, but I just kind of got like a little nostalgia looking at this eraser. So I'm gonna try that. I do kind of prefer the pencil eraser a little bit. I don't know why this pencil is so big, but anyway, it gives me good leverage like holding it as opposed to something like this. But I am gonna give this one a shot just to see, you know, it's just the pins that I want to clean. I'm gonna just end up dipping my Q-tips like that, and then I'm gonna come in here, and the ones that are really gross, I'll go parallel with the pins just to kind of not spread too much around. And you can lay the board like this and just kind of get a little bit more leverage on it. But this is not something that you need to really be forceful with. This is just kind of, with anything electronics, like you really just want to go slow and just be gentle with it. Enjoy the process, you know, like just, because it is kind of at least for me, it's kind of relaxing cleaning this stuff up. You have to be mindful of the little fibers that come off of the Q-tips. I don't like to be wasteful with things, but with the Q-tips, I do kind of switch those out frequently. You want to keep it clean, Q-tip. I think this one was definitely cleaned at some point. Definitely a well-used game, though. There's some stuff coming off. I'm gonna do this front a little bit more. I don't like this corrosion. I can't tell if this is like some sort of stuck on dirt over here or if that's corrosion. Not really sure about this. It's coming up, it's just a slow going thing. There's a lot of sticky residue on this, and I'm not sure if that's flux, like the old soldering paste from the factory, or if that's like something was spilled on it. It is sticky. Yeah, that's definitely soldering paste because it's kind of yellow. So that's definitely soldering paste. It's just a little sticky from the factory, which is fine. That's not going to hurt anything. I'm going to try this Pink Pearl Papermate. This one worked really good. I used this in my last video, this like that pencil, but let me try just this eraser. I liked it because it had like an edge on it and it's kind of wider, so I was thinking it might work good for like pens. But let me come in here and just see. It's definitely getting there. I think as I go over this, I'll get the pens to where I want them. I just kind of want to clean up that, there's kind of like some, I can't tell if that's dirt or corrosion, but a lot of it is coming up over here. But yeah, there was more over there, so that is coming up. It is lifting off. Let me just keep going. Let me keep messing with it. Maybe I'll end up using both because this kind of has like a wider surface area where I can get a lot more at once, but this pencil kind of allows me to push more. I'm using the word force, but I'm not putting a lot of force on it, but it allows me to kind of more centralize an area. What is that? I really think that's dirt. Because it's like, it's wanting to lift. Yeah, I gotta be honest, for the individual pens, like if one pen is dirty, I think I do prefer the pencil eraser. And then I'll come in here and just kind of wipe the dirt off. Let me try this rag. So let me try this. See if it'll catch some of that. Yeah, that worked really good. Okay, so moving forward to clean my pencil eraser off. See how clean that is now? I'll just use microfiber. You just kind of mess with things and then figure out what works for you, and that's really it. That's how you develop your methods. Or at least that's what works for me. Yeah, we're starting to get somewhere with this though. And I haven't even done the electrical contact cleaner yet. I was just gonna try and get as much as I could off with the rubbing alcohol and the eraser. Electrical contact cleaner is expensive. I have this WD-40 brand contact cleaner, which I really like. This was a well-used game though, which is cool to see. I like when things get used, you know? So like maybe someone had a lot of family memories tied up in this game. Whatever was on these pens, it is coming off. It's just a slow going process because the metal is definitely cleaning up, which is satisfying. Let me work a little bit on this side now. I'm going to use my microfiber and really easily gets all that off. That way I'm not introducing more dirt back into the metal of the pens. Wow, look at all the crap coming off. Holy moly. And I want to pull like top down. I don't want to go this way because I feel like if I go that way, it'll catch the little ends of the pens and then you run the high chance of bending them. I'm going to do something here. So I don't want to spray this side because of all the chips, but on this back side, there's a lot of flux. So I am actually going to hit this real quick and then wipe it down with my infamous soft bristle toothbrush. And then hopefully that will get some of the, there's a lot of like flux and crap on this board. I'm just gonna like dab it like that. I don't want to brush it. You run the risk of breaking a trace or a soldering joint. There's still this like really stubborn, being very gentle here. I'm just experimenting, just seeing if it will come up. Yeah, that alcohol got that sticky flux off. I'm not quite happy with it yet. I'm getting there, but I'm not quite satisfied because I do want this game to be clean and to run problem-free for another, golly, 40 years? Is this console almost 40 years old now? I'm gonna go ahead and start trying the electrical contact cleaner. This stuff I've not had any issues with, like melting plastics and stuff, but I'm just gonna spray down on my little pad right here because I don't want to spray the whole board. This is a harsher chemical, so I just want to be really mindful of that. Yeah, you can see it's definitely pulling some stuff off. On the note of that harsher chemical statement, I can tell that this stuff does pull a little bit of this green protective film off. Like, I just want to keep this on the pins, the metal pins themselves. I am kind of getting to a point where I feel like I'm getting diminishing returns on this stuff. It really is almost there. I'm really trying to get that off, but ultimately, I don't think it's necessary. I think this is going to work fine as it is. I just don't want to make things worse, you know? I wasn't able to get all the little specks of dirt, and as you catch it in the light, you can kind of see, but overall, this looks pretty good, and I can't imagine that this won't work. I have two labels here, and look how awesome these look. I like that you can still tell that they are reprints, so it's not gonna like fool anybody that they are not originals, but that's because they're actually better quality than the original prints. I ordered these labels from vintagearcading.com. Link is in the description. I have been using these labels before my YouTube channel. They have great quality and the colors are vibrant. If you don't see the game you're looking for, just contact the owner, Troy. He has built out his entire store on label requests and returning customers. He made this Tetris 2 label for me. He also sells games and even reproduction prototype games. He also mods consoles, so just send him an email with whatever you are looking for. I strongly believe having options like this in the community helps keep retro gaming alive. But look at what this label was supposed to be, or like this label was at one point. I mean, that's crazy. I don't know what happened to this poor cartridge, man. But I'm going to set these off to the side. I don't want to get these messed up with this really insanely dirty cartridge. But I also have some colors. So when I was looking at photos online, I thought this was, the background was kind of black. And it would tie in pretty good with the black, whoa, dude, that's cool looking. So I thought they were originally like kind of a black, but the label's actually like overall is kind of purple. And just by happenstance, obviously I have a yellow one here, which I think would also look good because of the yellow blocks in here. However, the one I'm the most excited about, which I'll probably end up doing because it's just like, it just turned out so perfect, like color-wise. It's just, I think it would be a shame not to do is, dude, look at this, like, it's almost like a grape. It's like a grape, translucent, like almost a navy blue. I don't know, but God, I'm getting shaky because I'm just like so, I get really geeked out about this kind of stuff. I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but like, how sick is this gonna look, dude? Holy cow. The kind of grape clear color goes so well with the background, like this kind of purpley space-like background. I think it would be sinful not to use this color. The elephant in the room is I need to clean this guy up because this poor cartridge. I'm going to avoid damaging this label. This is the original label. Because this one is so far gone, I do not have any kind of issue relabeling this. There's a big difference between when a label is gone like this and when you have, I guess you could call it patina. This label right here on this Mortal Kombat Trilogy game looks better than the original, with it being kind of faded and it has that patina. It's kind of a little scuffed and just kind of worn and battered, which I think suits the game awesome. I think this is a really sick looking copy, and it's not perfect, but I would never relabel this cartridge. This Body Harvest, and this is supposed to be blue, but it kind of faded into purple. I think this one looks awesome. This Wave Race cartridge, that was actually my friend's cartridge, but it's kind of speckly and got some wear on it over the years, and I think this also looks awesome. Or like this Revenge Wrestling game that I have. This is a great game. The kind of corners torn, but it's almost all there, and I'm just trying to give examples of like patina or like things that kind of age well. But I have this copy of GoldenEye here, and it's not perfect, but this was my childhood copy. I'm sentimental to it, you know, like. But there's a big difference between stuff like this that's used, not abused, but it's like used, you know, and something like this that just got completely water damaged, or like a coffee spilled on it or something like that. I have a little bit of canola oil here. Vegetable oil will work. I would avoid olive oil as it has a strong kind of smell to it, but I'm going to use the oil on these stickers and kind of down here on this label, and that'll help loosen it up. It's not as dirty on the back. There is some dust here, but I think I can get away with wiping this off with alcohol and kind of brushing that dust off. So I'm gonna set this out off to the side over here, and then I want to concentrate on this front shell piece. And notice I don't have a lot, and I've got too much here actually. I'm just gonna come in here and start to let this soak. This really helps with the glue. I'm gonna let this sit now, and then I'm gonna come back and see if the glue's loosened up. I'll probably let this sit on here for a little over half an hour, probably about 40-ish minutes. So it's been a little over an hour, I guess. And I just have like a plastic tool. You want to use a plastic tool because anything besides plastic will scratch the plastic of the shell. And I just want to come in here and see if I can at least start it. Yeah, thought this one was going to come up easier, but it's strong glue. Man, this is gross. All right, I'm gonna let this sit probably for another 30 minutes or so, and then if it's still fighting me, then I'll take it to the sink. It's been about an hour. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to move to the kitchen to finish this. Wow. This glue is really on here. Wow. I thought this one was gonna be easier than my last one. I was definitely wrong. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and move to the sink because I can tell this is gonna fight me like crazy. The glue is surprisingly strong. I thought this was gonna be a piece of cake. So I'm gonna run this water pretty hot. It's not like super hot, but I wanna be careful not to get it too hot and potentially warp this plastic. So I've got a soft bristle toothbrush and a very soft paintbrush. It just works good for general cleaning. For the dish soap, I'm going to use Dawn Power Wash, but you can use any dish soap. Try and get these little corner bits and stuff. Now I'm going to get it with the toothbrush, because the toothbrush can kind of get more into like some of these, like the more details in the plastic. It'll just kind of get that a little better. And it scrubs a little bit harder than the paintbrush. And I want to kind of just change directions and try and agitate whatever dirt is in the cartridge, like in the molding of the plastic and like the little textures and stuff and the little crevices and whatnot. This thing was really gross. I think I've got this to a good stopping point at the sink, and I think I'm going to continue on with this at my desk. You want to be sure to use like a strainer on your sink, because you don't want this getting in your plumbing. This came out really nice. Let me get some rubbing alcohol, because I want to see if I can clean up this shell half to match the other one. Almost looks like cobwebs. Let's see if I can kind of go over this sticker a little and clean it up. I'm probably going to end up ruining the sticker, but it's just so nasty. Also, I have these tabs that I need to be careful of. Yeah, that label is just going to be kind of cruddy looking. That's just going to have to be a thing. That's all right. I mean, for how old this game is and the condition I got it in, it actually cleaned up really good. I'm happy with this. Let me just get some of this up. Again, you want to be really careful. See, like these are going to be really easy to knock off. Oh, I found some more dirt. This is about as clean as I can get it. Let me get this back together. So I gotta hook in that top part first. Clean the heads of these screws up a little. See, like I can kind of polish those against my rag. You can kind of see this one has a little bit of corrosion on that. See, it's getting better. I can even come in here. I have a little bit of like silicone oil. You can use any oil for this. You can even use that vegetable oil. I just grabbed that silicone because that's what's sitting next to me. Let's see, that's just get the head like that. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this screw so clockwise tightens it. I'm gonna go backwards. And I'm gonna listen and feel for the notch of the existing threads. And once I find that knot, once I hear that click, then I'll go back down. And now we're ready for our label. Now I need to really clean this surface, otherwise my label will never stick right, especially up here, because this edge is gonna be a weak point to it folding back up. And I'm just gonna wipe it off several times with the alcohol. All right, so I'm gonna lay a microfiber down. Any piece of cloth will work. I'm gonna get this main part of the sticker on correctly first, and then as this is sticking up, I'll flip it over and then brush it down. And you wanna put tension kind of in one motion, and that'll like kind of roll the sticker on. This is gonna be my first NES relabel, so we'll see. I'm just gonna give it a little bit off the bezel on the bottom. So this like little lip right here, I'm just gonna give it like maybe a millimeter. Let's just see what happens. All right, I like to start them at the bottom. Yeah, see, I kind of messed this one up a little bit. I left too much space over here. That's okay. I'm not gonna sweat that. But for this top piece right here, instead of trying to roll that on with my finger, I'm gonna come in here, hold it up here, and brush and push down. And see, that got our edge rolled on good. It's not terrible. I just got it a little too far to the left. It's in the like recession that it's supposed to be in, but for my next one, I'll just make sure I get it over to the right a little bit more. It's crazy how faded the other one was, because this is what it's supposed to look like. And this looks awesome. I'm actually really happy with how this has turned out, but I'm really excited to get this other label on this kind of grape cartridge. But I first need to attach the two halves of the shell together. And I'm not gonna worry about the sticker on the back. That's fine. I'm not gonna sweat that. They did give me these screws with it, and instead of trying to cut the threads with the old screws, I'm gonna use these little Phillips head screws. And you want to make sure you're using a JIS standard screwdriver as opposed to like a regular American Phillips. The JIS screwdrivers are a little bit more stubby. You want to make sure you get the right size and the right type of screwdriver, because there's different types of screwdrivers, believe it or not. But basically, I'm going to flip this guy over. I'm going to get this middle one started. And I basically want to cut a little each time and then back out. So I'm going clockwise and then counterclockwise and then clockwise again. And what that does is it kind of allows whatever material it's cutting off, kind of allows it to shift and move around. I'm still loose though, so let me keep going, because I don't want to over tighten this. You really don't want to over tighten it. All right, so I think this one's all the way down. That feels good. So I don't want to go any tighter with that. Especially with translucent plastic, always seems to be a little bit more fragile in my experience. And these screws are cutting good into this plastic. But yeah, this feels really solid now. So let me go ahead and get this cleaned off. Get this nice and clean. It's almost there. I'm gonna use a paper towel on this one. See, when I rub it, it makes that noise because there's no oils left on it. And there was a lot of oils on it. I think they use oil on a little bit of oil when they cast this to prevent it from sticking to the mold. So that's kind of why it's important. Even though this is a new shell, you want to make sure you clean it good. And I'm just going to use the microfiber to get any kind of little bits of that paper towel off. So now, for this label, I'm going to remember that I need to come over a little bit more. Okay, so now I need to get this top part of the label down. Put it down, hold this. And that's really all there is to it. I paid attention to kind of the spacing on either side. So this one's much nicer placed than the original, but this one's not terrible. So let's get the game board back in. My screws have like plastic on the threads from cutting, so I want to kind of just brush that off. I love the colors. I love the green circuit board with this kind of clear purple plastic. You won't see that because once I close it up, but I don't know. This is cool. So there we go. We have this original shell, which turned out really nice. That cleaned up better than I thought it would, if I'm honest. I did get the label a little off center, but overall it turned out really good. And right now I have the board in this aftermarket shell because I just love this purple color. It just goes so well with the label. I don't know, it just really screams Tetris to me. This honestly looks like something that it could have been released as back in the day. This video has been going on long enough though. This was a fun video to do. I'm really proud of how these two came out. Just absolutely looks sick. I can't wait to test them, but this video has been going on long enough, and I'll see you in the next one. Got my NES. This will be a video in its own in the future, but for right now, I want to go ahead and test my game. Without further ado, let's see if all that cleaning I did okay. Sometimes I know that these cartridge slots are finicky. Okay, there we go. Sweet. We got a good, stable, clear picture. That's good. Okay. My controller seems like it's working. I don't really know a lot about Tetris 2. I mostly have played the first one. This seems like it's kind of the oddball Tetris game.